start? Start. Yeah, dear students, myself K.S. Mathad from Information Science and Engineering Department. I am here to present about the Open Elective Web Application Design and Programming. The course code is 18 IS 761. It's an open elective and the credits are 3. CI marks will be of 50 marks and SEE will be 100 marks. Here, if you look at the lecture hours, tutorials and practicals, the scheme is 202, wherein you will be having every week 2 hours of theory as well as 2 hours of practical session. So this particular subject, web application design and programming, the prerequisite will be any programming language you might have studied in first year, like C programming. So if you have studied that, is enough for you to study this web application design and programming. Uh, the course learning objectives are to illustrate the semantic structure of HTML and CSS. Here in this subject, you will be learning about web application design. When I say web, it always focuses on HTML and CSS. That is what you all every day starts with a browser, and the browser always recognizes HTML along with the CSS, which provides the style to your browser. It also consists of forms, tables, images. Uh, in addition to that, to make it interactive with the user, it comes with JavaScript and server-side programs using PHP. So it also involves object-oriented programming capabilities, which are available in PHP, which is a server-side program. It also includes JavaScript frameworks such as jQuery and Backbone. Okay, let us have a look at unit-wise. Unit 1 is about HTML introduction, how to create a web page, HTML documents. It will be having a quick tour of all the HTML elements like images. It can be the table. It can be other tags which are available in HTML that helps you to make it create an interface which is user friendly. It also focuses on HTML5 version, semantic structure elements, then introduction to CSS, cascading style sheet, which is to apply the style to the HTML web page. It also focuses on how the styles will interact, the box model. Then Unit 2 is about HTML tables and the forms, which introduces styling of the tables and the forms. You might have seen every time you access the internet, it consists of the forms. And we call it as a form tag that helps you to create a form. And every form consists of the elements or the tags that helps to take the input from the user, and that is provided in the form tag. You might have seen the text boxes, select boxes, radio buttons, check boxes. So all can be created using HTML, and these are all are part of form tag. It also includes constructing multi-column layouts, then CSS frameworks. Then third unit focuses on JavaScript, which is also a language, but it is a scripting language. And we call it as a client-side scripting language, wherein it always works at the browser, client side. Then it also introduces about document object model, then JavaScript event handling, then server-side development with PHP will be introduced, wherein PHP is also a language, but this scripting language will work at the server side instead of at the client side. So JavaScript is client-side scripting language and PHP is server-side scripting language, wherein you will be studying about PHP arrays, in fourth unit. Then how you can make use of get and post variables, sending and receiving the data, then reading and writing through the files, PHP classes and objects, object-oriented overview. How about the PHP? Okay. Then fifth unit focuses on the problem of state in web applications, passing of the information via query strings, passing information via URL path. Then you might have heard about the cookies, sessions. Whenever you use a web application, these two terms will play an important role that are used to grasp the information from the user unknowingly. Okay, then caching, advanced JavaScript, and jQuery, which is the recent one. JavaScript pseudo classes, jQuery foundations, and also about Ajax animation. So MVC frameworks, XML processing, and web services. And overview of the web services will be given as part of the fifth unit. If you have a look at the textbook, there is a single textbook that covers the entire syllabus. All the contents will be available in a single book. Its name is Fundamentals of Web Development, and the authors are Connolly and Hoare, and first edition onwards you can use. There are several reference books also that are available in the syllabus. You can go through the syllabus, which is available in git.edu website in IS department homepage. So if you have a look at course outcomes, these are the course outcomes of this particular course. Adapt HTML and CSS syntax and semantics to build web pages, construct and visually format the tables and forms using HTML and CSS, develop a client-side scripts, then PHP to generate and display the contents dynamically at the server side, inspect JavaScript frameworks like jQuery and Backbone. If you have a look at open-ended programs, you will be doing open-ended programs will be like the experiments that you do in a lab. So these are several term works which are open-ended programs. You will be working on these. And if you have a look at CIE, you will be having one test of 30 marks. Then you will be submitting a journal or a project report, which total will be 50 marks. If you have a look at SEE, this particular subject is web application design and programming. And here, instead of theory SEE exam, you will be having a practical session where you will be demonstrating about a project. So you will be forming the project groups, and each group will be working on one of the project which focuses on whatever the concepts you have studied in web application design and programming. And at the end, you will be building a web application. Okay, so that much is to be presented and demonstrated as part of the SEE exam. So it will be a project demonstration at the end. And CI components will be as it is, like your theory exam, wherein you will be having IA test and lab journal submission. So this is about the open elective web application design and programming. Course code is 18IS761.
Yeah. Good morning, all. So my name is Srivatsa D. Perur. So I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Information Science and Engineering. Here I am to give an introduction about the next subject, that is data analytics. So this subject has been given as an open elective for the students apart from CSE and ISE. So again, the subject is kind of 202, that is we'll have a hands-on session apart from theory session. So the total number of hours is 40, for which we have a 3 hours duration of SEE examination. So initially the course objectives are to provide overview of exciting growing field of big data analytics. So nowadays there is a buzz going on about this big data, data science, data analysis, all these things. So this subject gives you an overview or an introduction about how to do the tasks which are there for data science, data analytics. And we here in this subject are introducing the students to a programming language called as R programming language, which is used for statistical analysis and data analytics problems. So the second objective is to introduce basic data analytics methods, uh, to teach the fundamental techniques and principles of data analytics, and to enable students to have skills that will help them to solve complex real world problems in for decision support using visualization techniques. So here we are taking the students through visualization techniques too, along with the data analytics, so that it will be easier for predictions. So as said, the subject is divided into 5 units. So the first unit will be the introduction and life cycle. So where in which we'll be dealing with big data overview, state of practice in analytics, business intelligence and data science. What is the difference between the business intelligence and data science? That we'll be dealing with here. And what is happening in the current analytical architecture, that we are going to see. Which are the contributors for the big data? What are the devices or what are the things which contribute for enormous number of data created, that we are going to see as drivers of big data. Then emerging big data ecosystem and which approach we are using. So then we come to a major thing called as data analytics life cycle, which has 6 different phases. So whatever data analysis we do, every data should go through all these 6 phases only to give us the final results. So the first one is the data discovery phase, the second would be the data in preparation, third will be the model planning, fourth will be the model building, fifth is the communication of results, and sixth is the operationalize. So we are going to study in depth about each phase, what happens in each phase of this data analytics life cycle, and what are the tools which have been used here. A small introduction about all those things will be given in this first unit. So next, in the second unit, we will be dealing with the basic data analytics methods. So here we are concentrating on the statistical methods of evaluation. So statistics is a basis for the data analytics. So if a person is well equipped with statistical techniques, then he can do wonders in data science and data analytics. So for that reason, we have kept a unit which contains few techniques of the statistical methods, like the hypothesis testing, what are the difference of means, Wilcoxon rank sum tests, type 1, type 2 errors, power and sample size, ANOVA, advanced analytical theory and methods, clustering, k-means, use cases, overview of methods, determining number of clusters, diagnostics, reason to choose, and cautions. So here we are making the students to go through the hypothesis testing, which is the basis for the data analytics. And here we have taken a technique called as ANOVA, which is analysis of variance. So using this we can come to know whether the data which we are using for the data analysis is correct or not. So there are two types of errors which come, we call it as type 1 and type 2 errors, which will be dealt with here. And we go on for the clustering techniques. So what is clustering, why clustering is required, what are the application of clustering, all those things we'll be taking up. And as a specific concept, we are going to take you through the k-means algorithm. So what k-means, what are the use cases which comes under k-means, then what are the methods which can be used, so how to determine the number of clusters which we can do it, and then how to diagnose the algorithm whether it is correctly running or not, and then what are the reasons to choose, and what are the cautions to be taken before we are using this k-means algorithm. A complete detailed summary of what k-means is, we are going to take it up in the second unit. Coming on to the third unit, this is for association rules and regressions. So here we are going to take you through the advanced analytical theory and methods, where we will be studying about association rules, overview, a priori algorithm, evaluation of candidate rules, case study. The case study which we are taking here is a transactions in a grocery store. So we call it as market basket analysis. That will be doing it here. Validation and testing, and then diagnostics of those. Later on, we will be concentrating on the regression. So here we take you through the linear regression, logistic regression. What are the reasons to choose and what are the cautions to select, cautions to be taken when we select these two regression algorithms, and few additional regression models which can be thought of. So these are the things which we will be dealing with in the third unit. Basically this is rule based classifications, we call it as. So when it comes to data analytics, this rule based classifications can be of helpful, since we can have some rules for every event which happens, and based on the rules we can analyze or predict what happens in the future. In the fourth unit, we have kept it for classification, wherein which we'll be dealing with decision trees, overview, general algorithm of decision tree, and then evaluating a decision tree. How do you evaluate a decision tree? We come across the naive based classification algorithm. So what is naive based classification algorithm? Classifier, then smoothing of it, diagnostics of classifiers, and additional classification methods. So the fourth unit is totally dedicated for classification things. In the fifth unit, we study about the data visualization. So how to visualize the data given to you, that we'll be dealing with in the fifth unit. So here we are going to give you an introduction about the data visualization, the challenges which comes when we are visualizing a big data, conventional data visualization tools which are there, we'll be dealing with that, techniques for visual data representation, and then we have the types of data visualizations, visualizing big data, tools used in data visualization, analytical techniques used in big data visualization. So these things will be taking you through. So this data visualization plays a big part when it comes to data analytics. So directly if I give a data set, that will not be enough convincing for any person to understand what the data is saying. If I represent it in a graphical manner, or if I represent it in a very good manner, then it will be very easy for the person who is looking at the data or who is looking at the visualization tools to understand what I am trying to say. So that we'll be dealing with in this data visualization, big data visualization. So here we have kept one textbook, which is Data Science and Big Data Analytics from the EMC Education Services, Wiley Publications. And for the data visualization, we make use of the Tableau. So that is the reason we have given the second textbook as Tableau Data Visualization Codebook from PACT Publication. So we have the reference books as Data Analytics, Beginning to R, the Statistical Programming Language, Data Mining with R, Learning with Case Studies. These are the reference books. The complete subject will be taught on R programming. So every concept which you are studying in the theory part will be thoroughly implemented in the R programming, and you will be able to understand the concepts very much easily when you are coding it or when you are using the programming language for it. So along with the things which we teach at the class, we also have the online courses. Few online courses we have identified. So data analytics and learning from the EDX, then business analytics complete course from the Udemy. We have an NPTEL course also, which is for data science for engineers. So that can be taken up here. So this is an overview of what data science or data analytics subject is of. So here we have given some problem statements for the hands-on experiments. So simple random sampling, systematic random sampling, stratified sampling, then descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, hypothesis, then data imputation, correction and transformation, data exploration, supervised technique, regression and analytical model, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, optimization technique, and prescriptive analytics. So these are the concepts on which we'll be taking you through on the hands-on process. All these 10 problems is composed based on your data analytics theory subject. So if you want to know about how the data scientist job looks like, or if you want to be a data scientist, data analytics or analyst, then this course gives you a basic understanding of how the data is transferred from a starting phase or from the resource collection phase to how it can be implemented in a larger scale. So this is something what I wanted to tell. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. Uh, I will be giving you information about the Open Elective Software Engineering practices. So the course code is 18IS 763, and it is a 300 subject wherein you are having an SEE at the end of the subject. So basically, what is software engineering practice? Now, why is software engineering subject required? Because normally the assumption is that coding is the only thing which is involved in software development, but there are many other things which are involved in software development, right from interaction with the customers, then the design, then deploying of the software, and finally the testing of the project, completed project. So there are many things involved. So software engineering practices just deals with all these things. It is a practice which needs to be followed for software development. So I will just go through the units one by one. The first one is unit one. It deals with the different models which are involved in software development, like the waterfall model, the incremental development model, okay, then the spiral model. So it deals with the systematic process of software development, right from gathering the information from the customers, then building the use case diagrams, okay, then the coding, then the deployment, testing, all those things. Then the unit 2 deals with agile software development. Agile software development is basically an iterative approach which is used in project management, and the software helps the team to provide value to the customers. Okay, so apart from this, it also deals with the software pricing, okay, the project plans, project scheduling, and all the other things which are involved in not only in the development of the project but other than the development issues. Okay. So then you have the requirements engineering. It is in unit 3. Unit 3, it deals with the functional and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements is what your system can do. Okay, what is a system can do? Basically, it deals with the calculations or the functions which a software provides. For example, if you take the example of an ATM, we all know what are the functions which the ATM provides. It is used for depositing the amount, for withdrawing the amount. Okay, so whenever you go for a software, there are two things. One is functional requirements, that is the basic things why you are developing a software, and of course the non-functional requirements which are such as the reliability of a software, the security that is provided to the software. All this you can say it as a non-functional requirement. So basically we will see the functional and non-functional requirements in detail. Okay, so the next one is design and implementation. That is the unit 4. Here we will be dealing with the UML diagrams, that is the use case model, the sequence diagram. Okay, for example, what is a use case model? It deals with the system and all the actors which are involved in the system. So if I take ATM again as a system, so what are the actors who are involved in the system? Say for example, the customers who are using the ATM. Okay, then the maintenance staff, which is mainly used for providing the maintenance for the system. So all the actors who are involved or interacting with the system, okay, that is dealt with the use case model. Then the sequence model is basically the interaction that happens between two actors. Say for example, between you and the person in the bank, okay, the account holder and the person in the bank, wherein for example, if you want to deposit the money, first you take the slip, then you fill the withdrawal form, then you give it to the person in the bank, he checks it, then he checks the balance, and then he gives you the cash. So basically I'm giving a simple example how the interaction takes place between two actors, say for example a customer and a person who is working in the bank. Okay, the unit 5, basically deals with the different software models. it deals with the software quality. Okay, so normally, how do you prove that your software is having better quality? Okay, the software which has been developed, okay, whether it is a good quality software, whether it meets all the standards, okay, and also the different versions that you can come out with the software. So all these issues are dealt with unit 5. So basically, unit 1, again, it deals with what is software engineering, why it is being used, okay, what are the different models what we study in software engineering, such as the waterfall model, okay, the spiral model, the incremental model, okay. So why we study software engineering is basically software engineering is not just about coding. It deals with many issues such as interacting with the customers, the design, the development, okay, the testing, and the deploying. All these issues are all these stages we come across in software development. So we are going to discuss all those things. Then agile, basically how to make the things easy. Agile processes are used to make things easy for the customers, okay. It uses incremental process. Then you have the functional and non-functional requirements. You take any project, okay, they will be having two requirements. One is functional, that is what that particular software is supposed to do, okay, what is the purpose of building that software. And one is the non-functional requirements, okay, what you expect from the software in terms of the security of the software, the reliability of the software, okay. Next is unit 4, that is design and implementation. Here you will be studying the UML diagrams, such as use cases, okay, sequence diagrams, which are very important for understanding the software before we go for the coding process. Okay, it tells you about each and every component of the software, what is the function of that software, what are the interactions that happen between different entities involved in the system, okay. So it gives you a clear picture of the project or the system before you can go for actual coding, okay. And finally, we study in unit 5 about quality management. It deals with the software quality, okay. So it is not about just developing a software. The software quality assurance is very important. It has to meet certain standards and protocols for it to be called as an effective and a good software, okay. And also we discuss about the version management and release management, okay? So this is what I would like to discuss about software engineering practices, okay. Thank you.